So we're talking video games now. What
Mm-hmm.
we've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
Patch notes 54.1. We in
Sure.
the building. Mikey B, you want to start us off this week?
Certainly. I've been. Let's see. I've been playing the game of life, and the game of life means I've been reading some comic books. So this might be slash limited edition slash what you've been playing episodes of Patch Notes. Limited edition does for audience.
The audience
For the
knows.
audience knows that that's when we talk about comic books or books in general. That is called that's the segment we like to call the limited edition.
Yeah,
So
so before I guess if we're gonna just talk about it now, then
sure.
we're just gonna break it up eventually to its actual own thing. And right now, we're just gonna keep it in the what we've been playing, just because it's what you've been doing. But
Hmm. But
um,
sooner or later, it'll have its own its own episode.
yeah,
Like
it'll
I said.
be patch notes episode number whatever .3, because as you know we have extra innings
Mhm.
and we talk sports and what we're just gonna keep branching out into new things. So just because we also love other things besides video games. So
So true.
be on the lookout for our next limited series, Patch Notes .3 in comic books. But Mikey B, kind of back to what you were talking. What have you been reading this week?
Sure. Two things, two Marvel things, and that's rare for me because I'm more of a DC guy. But every once in a while, Marvel, they do
We
some.
gotcha.
They, Marvel does, some things every once in a while that pique my interest, especially if it's a complete run of a series that's kind of tells a nice story and that's wrapped in a bow. So the first one was called Old Man Hawkeyes. This takes place, I'm going to call it in the Old Man universe. The Old Man series, I believe, started with Old Man Logan back in the day. And then there's another one called Old Man Wolverine, but it takes in this kind of it takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where Red Skull and all the villains have won, and they have now taken different territories around the world with various villains being like the lead guy in charge. The lead villain in this one is from the Daredevil universe. It's Bullseye. He's kind of the sheriff character in this story, and the old man in question is Old Man Hawkeye's Clint Barnes. So this takes place 40 years after the attack, and the attack is when all the heroes lost, and there are only two heroes left in this world. There's actually more, but initially they only think there's two heroes left in this world. That is Clint Barnes, Hawkeye, and then Logan. But Logan's able to live in peace, kind of off to the ransom, like Clint Hawkeye's attested. Clint Barnes, Hawkeye is there to kind of deal with the aftermath of that. This is a classic revenge story. Honestly, he's upset because he used to be part of a team called Thunderbolts, and the Thunderbolts they're tweeners. They kind of go back between being like, hey, let's be on the good guy side and let's be on the bad guy side. And when this big battle was happening, it seemed like they were going to be part of the good guy squad team. But then just like the Montreal Screwjob, shout out to Pro Wrestling. WrestleMania is this weekend if you're ever going to watch it. Uh, Shout out to that. They did a heel turn and become villains, and they team up with Zemo and pretty much run shop on the Avengers team. As I said, the only person left after that aftermath is Hawkeye, so he wants to take out his revenge on his old Thunderbolt team. So the first, let's say, half of the issue, most of the first half of the issue, most of the issues are about him going back to different members of the Thunderbolt and getting his vengeance on them. It's called Old Man Hawkeye besides just being old, but Hawkeye also has glaucoma and he's going to go blind within a couple of weeks. And obviously, if your skill set is shooting arrows, going blind really doesn't help you very much. So it's also arranged against time. So beyond this revenge deal, he also gets to have kind of a reconciliation with Kate Bishop, which is also which is like the Hawkeye protege, and becomes her own Hawkeye in her own right. So there's kind of reconciliation with that, and then it ends with him meeting finally getting his revenge on Captain Zemo. Captain Zemo was the person who kind of orchestrated all of this. So he was able to get his revenge on Captain Zemo. And then it ends with a little bit of a teaser with him showing up at Logan's house because he still believes that it's possible to kind of turn this world around, this kind of post-apocalyptic world, if there's only enough heroes in the world left. And the only hero he knows is Logan. So that's where it kind of ends with him staring at Logan's mailbox, about to talk to Logan about, trying to clean up the world. This is my first entry into like the old man universe, and I liked it. It's interesting. I think if you're a Marvel fan, I think you get a lot more out of it because there's a lot of cameos and references to the other Marvel universe. Like I mentioned Daredevil, but there's references to X-Men, there's references to Avengers stuff, there's references to like the intergalaxy type things like Guardians of the Galaxy, and then into the wider Marvel universe. But I do like this idea of kind of post-apocalyptics. The bad guy has won. What would you do when you're the only hero left and the stacks are against you? So I would give it a slight recommendation. I'll give it a slight recommendation. I would give it 2.5 out of 4.
Yeah, we got to figure out a rating system.
Yeah, we don't know the rating system. I'll give it like 2.5 out of 4 for a rating system, but maybe that rating system will evolve and change.
Yeah, we'll give this 2 panels out of 9.
I don't mind that panels being our rating system. Yeah, we'll give it 2 and 9 being like the best.
The traditional, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Good. Yeah, so I'll give this 6 panels out of 9.
There you go.
Look
Boom.
at that. We really are a live podcast. On the fly, you're seeing creativity happen.
And we're making the rating system for the next series. Look at that.
Very good.
Sweet, man.
And then this one you'll probably know more about because you're a big fan of Venom, especially the Danny Case's run. I read his first volume. His first volume covers the first 12 issues of Venom. The first 6 deals with Null, who is the symbiote, the god of the symbiotes, kind of like the father of all the powers that Eddie Brock has. So he has to deal with that. But it also kind of deals with the mythology of Venom and the symbiotes. So it gives into some history of why the symbiotes are afraid of fire, why they are afraid of sound, why they are so interested to gather into a host and like take over someone's body and kind of like become a team of one when they find a good host. So it kind of deals with that for the first 6 issues. Issue 7 and 8 deal with the aftermath after he fights the god and potentially destroy him. But I assume he'll probably come back he might come back in later issues. But it deals with his first defeat. It also introduces a alternative Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four, and also sets up the absolute Carnage run, which I think happens in later issues. And then issue 9, 10, 11, 12, which were my favorite issues out of the first 12 I read, because these issues deal with more real life Eddie Brock stuff. Why does he feel like an outcast? Why does he call himself a monster? His relationship with his father, his relationship with Flash Thompson, the original Venom. Why does he feel like he's a secondary Venom, where Flash was such a top tier good guy, and Eddie Brock is trying to do good and trying to like protect the innocent, but somehow when he's trying to protect the innocent and do good, bad things keep happening. So like he has that like moral quandary. It also introduces his half brother, which we later find out is actually his son. It also deals with the symbiote messing with Eddie's mind the symbiote thinks for his own protection, but it's also because the symbiote is afraid that he's going to lose Eddie. If Eddie finds out, he's afraid he's going to lose Eddie. So he creates this fiction of that he lost his sister to cancer. He lost his uncle to cancer. That at one point he was so sad and depressed he was going to commit suicide. But all of this was for Eddie to feel attachment to the symbiote and become as one. So I really like this for episode because there was really no action whatsoever, but it really deals with Eddie Brock as the person, and Eddie Brock as with his family, and Eddie Brock as us, as how does he want to deal with the aftermath of all these discoveries. So it really starts off to a strong kind of more personal real life finish. And in a 12 issue run, it's pretty crazy to go from Eddie go from like super high action, him fighting like a god who turns into a dragon, then introducing like a hint of this absolute carnage and this alternative Reed Richards, and then to end on such a more like personal real life, dealing with mental issues, dealing with his family issues. So it's quite a wild ride. So kudos and shout outs to Danny Case for making this a really good read. I would give this 7.5 panels out of 9.
There you go. There's that panel. Sweet, man. Yeah, I didn't start all the way with Donnie's first, half of this, but I did read the Absolute Carnage. So it's definitely something to build up to, and you kind of, see what Venom's all about. And Venom's not. I love when you were telling me this. Like, I love that they give Venom like human qualities, just because like we all know Venom is like the big bad guy, and yeah, but this big bad guys also have mental issues. He's got real shit to deal with. So
True, they got real life problems,
which is awesome, man. Sweet, dude. So there's a little sneak peek of our panel crossover limited series coming soon, Mikey B. But that's cool, man. Anything you're looking forward to like picking up, or you just kind of going with it and seeing how it goes, or? Well, okay, so let me kind of rephrase that.
Sure.
Are you willing to pick up the next 12 for that Venom series? So the volume 2.
I think I would be, yes.
Cool.
I think I would want to at least continue a little bit further. I'm interested to see where the story is going.
Because I know right now, like, I think they're in the 30s with issues, I think. And Carnage happens at that time, too. So it's like, I think after volume 2, I think is when they start really playing into, like, the Absolute Carnage stuff. So good to hear, Michael.
But the next issue the next series I'm looking into, I'm really excited. It just came out with its first volume. This is an Image comic. They're an independent comic company, but they have some really great writers involved. It's called The Department of Truth. I'll read a slight synopsis because this got me intrigued. Cole Turner has studied conspiracy theories all his life. He was not prepared for what happens when he discovers that all of them are true. From the JFK assassination to flat Earth theories to reptilian shapeshifters, one organization has been covering them all up for a generation. What is this deep secret department? What is the deep secret behind the Department of Truth? I'm looking forward to that.
That sounds wild.
Yeah,
immediately I put it into like my own life, and I was like,
I do mention that because it might not known, but I'm gonna edit this out if you don't like this. But you are a fan. Who likes to dabble into some wilder conspiracy theories? You are, you don't mind partaking into the mental exercise of some of these conspiracy theories.
Yeah, man. Have you ever seen Loose Change? 9/11 was an inside job, and the Denver airport's really a secret UFO, holding grounds. So, yeah, man, that's interesting. I would love to hear when you kind of get through that. And
yeah, it is interesting that there's like a part of it's like there's a department in the government that is hiding the truth from its citizens. So I think that's a cool angle.
Yeah, definitely.
That's something that like
a lot of people kind of do now. So.
Yeah, some people believe. So that's interesting that it's kind of turned into a comic. So I want to see how wild and crazy it gets.
Sweet, man. Which that will cover Mikey B's what we've been reading this week.
Look at that. Nice wordplay there,
Just
Josh.
A quick little wordplay. And I will continue with
the video games?
Video games, question mark?
Yeah.
I was trying to I was trying to word it, but I couldn't find the good wording for it. But yeah, so I'll talk video games now. So I continued my Crash Saga. We are now into the Crash universe's bayous right now, and we got to face a couple cool bosses. We did a boss battle with Engine, which I don't know if you remember. He was like the chemist from the previous games. He's back in here, so I kind of defeated him and went through. I guess it was like China-inspired world. I did that, and then now we are in like a Mardi Gras style world where we meet Dingodile, and Dingodile is the next playable character. So we're kind of just exploring like his story and how this is all going to tie in. But we also met the new mask lady who slows down time, so which is way better than the super spinny one, and I'm enjoying it. So yeah, just continuing on with this. So once you play with Dingodile, you get to play his like explorable like game modes and all that stuff. And what I thought was a game of like 200 gems just doubled to like 400 because you can do all of these levels in like outlines. So it opens up. So it's pretty dope. So I did that. And then I started playing Outriders.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I really like this game, man.
Awesome.
And it's kind of crazy to say, but I find myself thinking about it outside of the game itself. So I'm like,
nice. That's a great sign.
how am I gonna beat this game? It reminds me of Gears of War and The Division, but then like you include magic. So it's a lot of fun. It's got the story is a little okay, but it also helps that this game's not all about grinding like stuff. There's actual story, defeat bad guys, defeat the altered people. So huge fun game. I obviously take the approach to being a little more aggressive. So I found myself a nice little fire perk, and I get to flame these fools in the game. So the good thing about this game too is, man, it's like it's cross platform.
Nice.
So anybody can play. But there's like a warning right now that they don't want the people on the consoles to play with the PC just because the connections or some shit. So PlayStation and Xbox can get together and play this game.
Have you got your squad to play? Your normal COD crew to play this game with you?
I'm doing some convincing, man. So I've been throwing it out to the universe to see if the gang will jump on. So I hope so, because it would be a lot of fun. Like it's just something about this game, man. Like I know I've talked about like a bunch of other games to play, but this one's kind of sticking, and like I like the gameplay of it, and it's just I don't know what it is, because like I don't want to say it's the grind, because like you don't really have to grind guns, you don't really have to grind characters. And like one of the things that's really cool about this game too, man, is that there's this thing called world tier. So the world tier is your difficulty throughout the worlds, and you gain XP from that too. And you gain XP and you increase rewards, which I have it to automatically increase as it expands, right? So like it starts off with like world tier 1, which is like super easy. You gain XP and then you can upgrade it to 2 or 3, like 2, and then once you get that to 3, you can upgrade to 3. But you can pick how you play. So I have it set so that every time I access a new world tier, I'm automatically in it. So it like increases difficulty as I go and try to get better rewards. But it's getting challenging, man. Like these people are like pretty good AIs. So I will definitely keep going with this game. Story-wise, man, I can't really tell you what it's about because it's kind of dull. It's like, the world ends and you find refuge in another world, but that world gets fucked and you're like attacked with some sort of like powers, and now you're like a superior being in like the super future. So I'll stay tuned. So that's pretty much about it, man. Like I haven't really been playing anything else. I jumped back into Skate 3 just because I love that game. Get a couple lines in and do some work and have like the same 3 songs playing because it's the same 3 songs I like in the game.
What are those 3 songs, Josh?
It is Put On, Young Jeezy and Kanye, Old Dirty Bastard, Shimmy Shimmy Ya, and it's a Mobb Deep song. I think it's called Hit 'Em Where It Hurts.
Okay.
So I got that playing in the headphones while I'm hitting the streets and the skateboard. I feel like there's something else. I also downloaded Shit, my bad. Octave Travel.
Oh, Octopath Traveler, yes.
Octopath Travel.
Nice.
That's on the Game Pass, and I was like, oh, sweet.
Oh, nice.
So
That's awesome. That was used to be a Switch exclusive. Let's get that moved over to Xbox.
and now I spilled on my sweater. Yeah, I was surprised to see it on the Game Pass, so I downloaded it. I'm gonna keep coughing. Oh my god. Woo. Yeah, so that's pretty much wraps up what I've been playing.
Okay, that's a good way of. Hopefully next week I'll jump back on the video game train, and we'll be playing something new and exciting.
Yeah, man. One more note: Call of
Sure.
Duty got an update, and that more zombies are everywhere, and they finally got rid of the download size, which was like extremely massive. So now they like cut it in half. And this new season should be out soon, so hopefully we get some more cool stuff into Warzone and Cold War. And that's pretty much about it, man. Oh,
Okay.
no.
Wait, there's more. You're like Steve Jobs over here, man.
How could I?
One more thing.
Now this podcast comes with no audio, so you make it up on yourself. I finally, so I don't know if I kind of talked about this prior to any of the Call of Duty stuff, but I was grinding camos and zombies, right? So like I was trying to get gold guns for like tactical rifles. And what happens when you get all of the gold guns in one gun tier, you get purple diamond. So finally got my purple diamond camo in all my tactical rifles, and that looks banging. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So then now we're jumping into the submachine guns, and we're trying to grind these purple camos out. So that was a little achievement of mine. Like last week, I think I finally got the purple diamond for those guns, and it looks awesome. So hard work pays off. So hopefully, that kind of leads up to maybe hopefully get that dark ether camo, which is when you get purple diamond for all the guns. So don't know if I'll do it for all of them, but it would be sweet. And then that's how we can wrap up what we've been playing this week. And I've got nothing else, I swear. There's nothing hiding behind the curtain where I've been playing something else. So I'll wrap it up. And the console boys are out. See ya. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Gaming Console Podcast. Now, if you're not with us on the social game, you're really missing out. On Instagram, follow us at the Gaming Console Podcast. Facebook is the Gaming Console Podcast. Also, follow us on Twitter. We're the Console Boys on Twitter, so hit us up, tweet us. Everything podcast related, episode wise, go to gamingconsolepod.com.
The Console Boys in the building tonight. Oh, what a feeling. I'm feeling life.
Console Boys are out.